Dollars on our mind. Ideas all the time. We might get distracted, but we're building wealth just fine. This is dollars and distractions. If we went off track, just know we're coming back. More money, more mindset, no holding back. Dollars and distractions.
Hey, I'm Marianne,
And I'm Beck.
and this is Dollars and Distractions.
And today we're talking about money flexes.
Yeah.
What is it? Money wins.
Money wins that no one brags about.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think there's this whole social media thing where people will brag about, look at my 6 cars I have in my driveway. I don't know. That's extreme.
Well, I know he's, well, maybe not even cars, but remember people went through a stage of like caravans.
Yes, I was one of them.
I know.
Please don't judge me.
I know.
Hey, you've got a caravan.
I get it.
Or even like the Labubu trend, like $50 on a stuffed toy.
Interesting, isn't it?
And there's now that cube. My daughter's hitting me up for some cube, the squidgy.
Lexi's got it.
Oh, what?
But they were cheap on, and again, yeah, I don't know where she.
was
YouTube.
always like,
YouTube.
it's not real. And I'm like, the real one's $50 or $40. I'm like, I'm not spending that on a toy.
Nah.
Anyway, so off the back
Know
of
what
all
you're
of
saying.
that, I thought we thought it'd be really cool to talk about money flexes that people aren't bragging about, that they probably should be getting on social media and going, yo, look at me.
Yeah.
Sign up, subscribe. I don't know, whatever
Yeah.
the kids do these days.
And I suppose that off the back of our other, I suppose people always celebrate like the big stuff. Like if you look at socials, it's always like,
Milestone type things.
well, I brought this, like you said the other day about a mortgage broker that I went to a thing and they had a Ferrari, and that was the tone of their
Any
marketing.
broker listening to this podcast
right?
is going to know exactly who we
Oh,
were talking
soz.
about.
Oh, but anyone could. I've seen another one, like it was a young guy, and that was. I don't know if it was a Ferrari or a Lambo, but obviously that view is like, okay, you've made it. But imagine if it was the flip and you had someone with an old, Mazda 3
Mhm.
and they're like, I saved $100,000 by not buying. Can you imagine
Yes, I drove this car literally to the ground.
that? Yeah.
Like, it is a flex to have a car for. I remember when I met Jeremy, he had a Lolux, a Toyota Lolux.
I had a thing for Loluxes.
and
Like I used to
he-
even buy the mini
I'm
truck.
biased, right? But man, he looked good in it. I remember him rocking up to our first date, and I was like, wow, he's
Yep.
gorgeous. I'm glad he doesn't listen to the podcast, or his head would get even bigger than what it already is. But so he had that Lolux, and I swear to you, that car went and went and went.
Yep.
And we only got rid of it right at the end when we had 2 kids, and it was a ute. It wasn't a dual cab or anything like that. It was unusable now for us as a family.
Yeah.
And he sold it for $2,000 to the next young kid who was probably going to keep driving it into the ground.
But that's a life win.
He sat there and did the math on how much that car cost him per year. I just had to stop so you could cough.
I thank you.
It's that time of season. And I don't even remember what the math was, but I was flabbergasted by how much it ended up costing him to have had that car for however long it was he ended up having it for.
We had one of those too, like just a runaround ute. It was just like a little Toyota Hilux thing, and it's like it never missed a beat either. Like, and it wasn't a shitty looking car. It was
take
just
a moment to say we are not sponsored by Toyota.
no,
Okay, press on.
no, we are not.
Although I do like Toyota.
But can you imagine though if that was the flex?
Wouldn't it
You
be unreal?
Yeah,
I think it's because, so for outsiders looking in, like if you're looking at Instagram, that seems boring. But it's those little things that you do that can put you in a far better position 10 years on, 20 years on.
but isn't that it's like interesting though if you look at generational? Like I don't know about you, but I always remember my grandparents. My Pop, he had a tree lopping business, and she was a typical stay-at-home mum. She didn't even have a license, my nana, but she had 12 kids. No TVs, obviously. 12 kids, yeah. How you do 12? Yeah, 5 is, yeah. Anyway,
I'm
but
one of 6, and that was crazy. I couldn't. And
how
I've had
you'd
2.
spend
I
time?
couldn't do more than 2.
No, but he always swore by Subarus. Always brought a Subaru,
Yeah.
but his thing was always about the resale. Was always pretty good with those. So when I remember with cars, I always remembered that moment that, like, yes, or it's that whole poor man pays twice sometimes.
Yes.
Like if poor man pays twice, but then sometimes when I make decisions, I go, will I recoup the money? We talk about boats and things. I go, is this an asset that if I spend a big amount of money on, will I recoup that at the end, or will it just be depreciating from the start?
Yeah.
And that's not to say you have to do that, because YOLO, you do have to live. But
Yeah.
I think that's what differentiates between somebody, your trajectory. I can't even talk. Can you hear my
Trajectory.
Trajectory. You know what I'm saying?
It just all sounds weird now.
Yeah.
Trajectory?
It doesn't even sound
Is
like
it
a word.
trajectory?
I thought it was a P.
Trajectory.
I think you are right.
Oh.
That's why it wasn't coming out.
Yeah, that's why it sounded weird every time I tried to say it. Trajectory.
Yeah. But I reckon if you started at
English.
a young age with that view
Yeah.
of like holding on to something and getting the value of it, I think you'd be in a very different position from a 20-year-old to a 60-year-old, rather than someone who's constantly chasing a trend,
So another flex, I think, that is not sexy but should absolutely be a flex is people that are using their offset accounts in the correct way. It's so ironic that I'm saying this because we've just had a restructure of all our finances. And I said to my husband, right, so now I want you to start using the offset, because he still has the bank account from back in the day, and that's where he keeps all the money we're going to need for the month.
Yeah.
And I keep saying that would be really, really great in an offset account. And now we have an offset account. Let's pop that in the offset account. But
can you have multiple?
Yes, we can. Not all banks will let you have multiple. It's really cool when you can have multiple, because then you can split it out into,
You don't even care.
But you'd be surprised how often I see clients who, I'm looking at their mortgages and I'm like, right, you've got an offset account, but you've got your pay account over here with this bank. Or you've got a savings account with Upbank. Is it Upbank that everyone seems?
Loan or Unloan?
No, not loans, but like online banking, high interest. I don't know. I see a lot of them and I'm like, you have a mortgage. Why are we putting money? And this is probably a timely reminder to do the whole, this is for educational purposes only. Please take into account your personal situation. This isn't advice. But if I was to have, let's say I have $50,000, good for me. Awesome. If I put that in a savings account where I'm getting, 6%, let's say. I don't even know what high interest accounts are. Let's say it's 6%. I get taxed on the income I make on that. So the interest I get taxed on that. That goes onto my taxable income. So I'm not getting 6% technically. I'm getting less than that after tax. If I put that against my mortgage interest rate, let's say it's 6%, but it's probably slightly higher than whatever you're earning on the high interest account. Let's say it's 6% for argument's sake. I am not paying 6% on that portion in my home loan, and there's no tax. So I'm saving more than I could ever make by using an offset in the right way.
And do you know what's ironic? This is digressing, but I have quite a bit in a savings account, and I think I told you, but the fact that I earn interest on that every year, the ATO charged me 30% every quarter.
Should we get me started on tax?
Nah, but in your head though, if you think, yes, you've got savings in the account, but that's a taxable, and again, I'm not an accountant and I'm not, you'd have to have a chat.
We've got so many disclosures.
You'd have to chat to your accountant. But that's to be mindful, because I think if you didn't know that interest you earn is a taxable income, you have to declare, well, everyone knows at tax time you have to declare your savings, like the interest you earned. There's a reason for that. You've got an offset, no one cares.
And so you've got, people that might be flexing that they've got this high interest account or whatever. But if you've got an offset account and you're saving more, it's not sexy. No one's going to be raving about it. But over 30 years, that can save you a lot of money if you're using it correctly. So I think that's definitely something that people don't talk enough about. And it's a great way that you can trim time and money off your mortgage.
Yeah. Another one I think is, and this is totally not a sexy word, because I think when I raise it, even I cringe a little bit, but budgeting.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think when you say budgeting, I think people, this is probably off our other episode, but I think automatically people go, oh, if you're budgeting, it means you don't have cash, right? But if you flipped that view on it and you thought, well, you work a certain amount of hours a week and you earn so much, why should you be paying extra on things that you don't need to? Because that's just wasted money.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm always that one to cringe when someone goes and barters, prices down on big things or whatever. But I think there's definitely ways, and I live to it quite. I think if you plan, what is that? You plan. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Oh, yeah.
No,
I know the prior preparation prevents piss poor performance.
I have never heard that.
It's kind of the same thing.
Piss poor performance.
You fail to plan, you plan to fail. Is that right? Plan to fail, fail to plan.
Fail to plan,
no
you
one
plan.
fails to plan. What? Plan to fail.
You know what I mean.
Why does everything sound weird today?
No, it's a trajectory.
It's a trajectory.
But that could be the difference of, yeah. I think if you put pen to paper, and actually the client you're going to meet today, I'll show you, she's done a beautiful, they're first home buyers. Her
Budget?
Excel sheet.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, I was
love it.
I was in awe.
I love nothing more. I had a client first home and I met her with her dad. This was years ago. And the very first thing she said to me is, this is how much I can afford in repayments. Nothing more. And I was like, okay, cool. Let's work off that. So and this was, property prices weren't $5 million. So it wasn't as tricky. But effectively, whatever that budget was, we came in under it. We fixed it so that she could have that, because she was very budget heavy. She wanted that peace of mind that this is my repayment, it's not going to change. And she's still living in that property. Yeah. But I loved the fact that she came to me not saying, how much will the bank lend me? I want as much as I can get kind of thing, but more saying, don't care about what they're saying. This is how much I know I can afford, because her budget, oh, I love it.
Really? If you budgeted, it's really quite basic. You're incoming, just do a quick, and you've got a budget.
Template?
Yeah, on the website. If you don't know what's coming in and what your general living expenses are I don't know how you would, one, be able to save if you are saving for a home, or two, there could be money that you could be paying towards the home loan you have that will save you not only interest, time.
That kind of takes me to another not so sexy, although this one is a flex on social media, I think, meal planning and preparing. You do that?
100%.
Oh, you're such a nerd.
For two reasons. Budget side of things, but also, like I've said a million times, there's time, because going to the shop back and forth, but then that's the ADD in me. Like, if I don't write a list or know what I'm going there for, that's where my budget completely blows out.
With some caramel popcorn and go, oh, I forgot to get dinner.
Yeah, and then I'm forever going back and forth to the shop and going, I need this for this, or...
I have a cousin that was so good at her meal planning that, like this meal might call for coriander.
Yeah.
Which most people are probably listening going, ugh, coriander, but I love it. And she would make sure that coriander that she bought got used in other meals, so that it wasn't I'm using half a bunch and putting it in the bin.
Yeah.
Like, she'd just make sure that, I don't know. To me, I was like, that is amazing.
Well, now we are a family of 7, like, to have that. And it doesn't have to be, I think back when I go back to when the kids were little and you'd watch, maybe you had more time, but you'd watch the and maybe it was the trend at the time on Instagram, you had stay-at-home mums who were doing like meal planning and they were like these extravagant meals, but it doesn't have to be like that.
It's so satisfying to me for some weird reason because I've never done it. When you watch them on Instagram and they do like their whole fridge is just the whole week's worth of all packed ready in their beautiful containers.
No.
No, not mine either. Well,
No.
but then I don't cook, so I can't cook. But I think the meal planning doesn't have to be that specific. So I've got a yogurt for each day of the week, and that's it, kind of.
Nah.
And I think that's also budgeting. It's not necessarily about restricting yourself. It's more about understanding where is my money going.
Yeah, because we spend our lives working. Like, why would you not want to, make that work better for you?
And are there any money leaks there?
Yeah.
And we've got a podcast episode on money leaks if
We
you want to
do.
go check it
It's
out.
actually my favorite one.
Is it?
It is.
Because you said leaks? Because you.
No, because you said leaks and I thought it was hilarious.
No, my favorite one is when you said something that sounded really sexual and I said, I'm not editing that out. And I still didn't edit it out.
We have totally digressed. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah,
But you know what I mean? On the back of budgeting, like, and meal planning,
Yeah.
I think the other thing which hear me all the time too, like, is if, especially if you are a first home buyer and you are looking to, well, not even just a first home buyer, but even like to buy a place, having separate accounts for different purposes are a win, especially if you've got an offset too, I guess. But it keeps it quite separate.
Nice and tidy.
Yeah.
It's the old envelope. Everyone goes, oh, the book Barefoot Investor. But it was around before him. He just
Yeah.
put it into a.
And he's kind of like, we can't really listen to him anymore because the cost of living is not what he, do you know what I mean? I read something the other day that said
Don't really.
he budgeted on a certain way of living, like a certain percentage on bills, a certain percentage. What it used to be, I read, 30% of your income would be on housing.
That's not realistic.
That's not anymore.
No.
You just can't do that.
I think the multiple, if you can, we touched on this earlier, but if you can get those multiple offsets, if you do have a mortgage, that would be something to talk to a mortgage broker about to see if
Absolutely.
it's something that suits you. But something also I've noticed, so with partners buying a house together, and one might have more savings than the other, so they obviously don't want to pull it all into the offset because that might be her money or that's his money, or it might even be the dad's money that he's helping her save money on interest.
Yeah.
So some lenders will let you have an offset account in your name only.
Yep.
So you're still getting the benefit, but you're then not, there's no ambiguity,
These words, eh?
no doubt as to who owns the property. I think I need another coffee. So another one, paying extra off your mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
Love when people say, I pay fortnightly, I pay weekly so I can try and get it paid off sooner. I would just caution you that you've picked that weekly and fortnightly payment, not let the bank, because they will skew it so that you're not actually paying any extra. But paying extra off your mortgage is not something that people rave about.
No, and there's a really cool, I don't know if you have it on your website, but if there's a really cool repayment calculator.
I think I do.
Do you?
Yeah,
and I used
should
to
know.
love, but even if you plug in, like it, I think people think when they, you need to pay huge amounts every week, but you really don't.
Yeah.
Like even if it was $20 to $50 a week, if you actually put it in that calculator, it's pretty eye-opening how much you save.
It's also so inspiring.
Oh, yeah. So then I think that's probably too in my head where I'm like, if we can pay extra, whatever that is, to get to pay that off, because we don't know what life's going to be like when we're in a.
Well, we're really only 8 years off the bank saying, tell us what your retirement plan is. What are you actually planning to do to...
And we can live in like over 50s.
I know. I love saying to Jeremy, because he's only moderately older than me, but I love saying to him, 4 more years and you can live in an over 50s village. Yes.
Yeah. You play bingo every day.
Wouldn't that be good?
Yeah.
We'd be like the youngest people there, but
Would you? I suppose you would at 50, you would.
I don't reckon many 50-year-olds are moving into an over 50s retirement village.
I would be intrigued at that number right now because of the cost of it. Wouldn't that be interesting?
Well, I'll let you know because I'm only 6 years off.
But I'm 3 days older than you.
Oh, so you can let me know first.
Like, come to this one. But that's something in my mind, as life happens with people.
Absolutely.
Because, not to be morbid, but life, like there are more divorces, there are more second times around, there's different circumstances in people's lives that, yeah, you've got to think smarter as you get older. Even if you're not divorced, you have to think smarter. But you have to think smarter.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, as we approach retirement. Don't know what retirement's going to look like for us in 30 years, what the government changes, what, self-funded.
If there will be any pensions then.
Yep.
No
Yep.
idea.
No. So even if you're saving or adding that little bit extra every week, and to me, it all rolls in. If you can meal plan, if you can do little things all the time to just be adding that little bit extra and redirect it to a mortgage, especially if you have an offset or a redraw, if shit happens, you can still take it back, but it's just...
And I think the key is you won't notice any real big difference day in, day out. But then when you look back over 10 years and go, holy shit, look how much I saved just by making these little differences, just by not grabbing dinner takeaway each night because I hadn't planned for the week, and by having high interest account and paying more tax and rah. I think
it doesn't have to be a big amount. I think I used to think, it has to be like a big amount every week that you're doing. But it doesn't. No, it doesn't at all.
And you can even pick your loan term. So when you go for a mortgage, assuming you can manage the repayments, you can say, no, I want a 25-year loan term. I want a 20-year loan term. You don't have to take a 30-year loan term unless for borrowing reasons we need to do that. But even then, I can say to a client, we need the 30-year loan term to get it through. This is what the repayment is on 25 years. You make that repayment, you're still going to get it paid off in 25 years. So, don't stress too much.
Absolutely. And I suppose on the point of that actually made me think for our next podcast.
Oh, a teaser.
Like equity unlocks. People don't really realize. So that as you get older, the loan terms have to drop because, the age is dropping that you can pay off a loan.
And that's a wrap for today.
Dollars on our mind. Ideas all the time. We might get distracted, but we're building wealth just fine. This is dollars and distractions. If we went off track, just know we're coming back.